you have a frame, and in the frame is whatever the artist puts there, and that seems to be a kind of order, because so much of life is not ordered. So much of life is random. My mother was an actress, an Irish actress called Geraldine Fitzgerald. I partly grew up in California because she was working at Warner Brothers. And then she and my father split up when I was quite young, and he went back to Ireland, where he also was from. And then my mother met someone and fell in love, and we moved to New York when I was 6. And I wasn't a successful child, partly because I couldn't read until I was almost 9. And as a result of that, this has turned out to be good, my literature came from comic books, comic strips. And so I'd be able to tell what the story was from the panels. And so I started to draw a lot when I was young, and I kept on drawing. I was the most out-of-it teenager God ever invented. I went to work when I was 16 in a summer theater in Stratford, Connecticut. I amazingly got into Oxford University, and when I say amazingly, everyone was stunned that I passed the exam, me most of all. And but when I was in England, still theater this is, I got an offer to assist on and be in a production of Chimes at Midnight with Orson Welles. And I was a really bad actor. I mean, I wasn't, I could never have made a living as an actor, but it was the world I wanted to be in. And it was really only when I started to direct a rock and roll show in English television, Ready, Steady, Go, that I started to have the camera in my life. There was this rock and roll show that had been on for like a year before I joined. I really wanted to direct it. And I also wanted to shoot rock and roll in a way which I hadn't seen done before. I became friends with the musicians, and they asked me to do videos. The first ones I did were with the Beatles, Rain and Paperback Writer. And following that was Jumping Jack Flash with the Rolling Stones and The Who. And then the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus, and then Let It Be, the documentary with the Beatles. I wasn't painting because I didn't know how to paint. And but when I met my wife, Lisa, after we'd been together for about 8 or 10 years, she said, "Why don't you paint?" And I said, I don't know how. And she said, well, She said, "Why don't we go and get a canvas and get tubes of paint and a couple of brushes and see?" So I did paint, and it turned out all right. I've been doing it for 25 years now. I paint on really what's ever there. Canvas, board, panel of a door or something, and I paint on that. I paint on anything, really. I suppose I was drawn to portraits and pictures of people because people, I think, are what interest me the most, being a people myself. And I find, you walk down the street and you look in someone's face or the way they walk and you think, I wonder who that person is. And a lot of times people, to me, look confused or out of it the way I was. I'm very interested in people who were kind of out of it like I was. Confused, and sometimes also you'll notice in some of my pictures is might be a displacement of power, like who's more important and who's the master and who's the servant, and do they like their roles? Why should they come to see my paintings at Hudson Hall? No reason I can think of, except they're interesting. I think they're unusual. I think they're good, and I think you won't see them or see similar paintings in many other places. The thing I miss most about directing, which I haven't done for a while for whatever reason, is the family. When you direct, you make you choose your family, crew, actors. Painting, it is more solitary, like writing. I don't mind it.
You get to pick your crew.
I get to pick my crew, yeah, exactly.